Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, they appear to have a bit of a morale problem at the agency. Oh, no kidding. Now, according to anonymous officials speaking to The Atlantic, workers there are miserable. Oh. Officers and agents have spent much of the past 5 months clocking weekends and waking up at 4 a.m. for pre-dawn raids. Top leaders have been ousted or demoted, and their supervisors, themselves under threat of being fired, are pressuring them to make more and more arrests to meet the quotas set by Trump advisor Stephen Miller. In order to do that, of course, they've been prioritizing civil immigration arrests, grabbing asylum seekers at their courthouse hearings, handcuffing mothers, and chasing day laborers through the Home Depot parking lots. Yeah, it's miserable. One career ICE official told Atlantic immigration staff writer Nick Miroff, the mission is impossible. I mean, look, I have a suggestion here right off the bat. Why don't you quit? I'm just saying, just quit then. I think everybody should quit. I think ICE should not be an agency whatsoever, period. But anyway, that's just my suggestion. Now, Miroff recently spoke with a dozen current and former ICE agents and officers about morale at the agency since Trump took office. Most spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of losing their job or being subject to a polygraph exam. Yeah, insane. Now, these people described varying levels of dissatisfaction, but weren't looking to complain or expect sympathy. Oh, good, because they're not going to get any. Brown shirts, all of them. Boo-hoo. Miroff notes that the frustration, though, isn't yet producing mass resignations or major internal protests, but the officers and agents describe the workforce as on edge, vilified by broad swaths of the public, and bullied by Trump officials demanding more and more. Once again, perhaps you should quit. Just saying. Just quit then. Several staffers told The Atlantic that they feel contempt from administration officials who have implied that they were too passive, too comfortable under the Biden administration, while other ICE employees believe that the shift in priorities at the agency has been driven by a political preoccupation with deportation numbers rather than keeping communities safe. Keeping them safe from whom exactly? The rando worker at Home Depot? The farm laborer? Not really protecting communities, but okay. Now, the report notes that ICE's Homeland Security Investigations Division, which had previously focused on drug cartels, major drug trafficking operations, those supervisors have waved agents off new cases so that they can have more time to make immigration enforcement arrests. One longtime ICE employee said, quote, no drug cases, no human trafficking, no child exploitation. It's infuriating. Now, that same person is thinking about quitting rather than having to continue, quote, arresting gardeners. Hey, QAnon, where are you? Where are you? You should be livid that instead of going after child sex traffickers, ICE is targeting working class migrants with no criminal records. Now, of course, they'll never, QAnon will never actually talk about this at all because they never really cared about protecting kids. Never. Not at all. No, it was just a lie. Now, another former investigative agent told The Atlantic, quote, morale is in the crapper.
Big, massive dumps.
Right in the crapper. Well, that's great.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
Great. Now, even those that are gung-ho about the mission aren't happy about how they're asking to execute it, the quotas and the shift to the low-hanging fruit to make the numbers. They want to deport about 1 million people a year. That is their goal. That's insane. That is an insanely, large amount of people. And you know what? They all know it. They know it. However, there's cowardice here. ISIS officials are so scared of being fired that they are not pushing back, said another official. No one is saying that this is not obtainable. The answer is just to keep banging the field, which is what ICE calls rank and file officers. I mean, that's really telling, right? Banging the field. They know who they're going after. Okay, that right there, very, very telling. And tell the field that they suck. It's just not a good atmosphere. Well, it's a terrible atmosphere. And yes, they do suck, but, for different reasons. Abolish ICE. Now, I keep saying that, yes, they can quit. They can quit. And yet, to be fair, some have. Some have. In fact, Adam Boyd, a 33-year-old attorney who resigned from ICE's legal department last month, told The Atlantic that he left because the mission was no longer about protecting the homeland from threats, which, again, that's phrasing that I'm very uncomfortable with. Calling this the homeland, I mean, that's one step away from calling it the fatherland, which, yeah, not good. But anyway, Boyd said it became a contest of how many deportations could be reported to Stephen Miller by December. That's really who's running all this, by the way. He added that there was frustration among ICE attorneys whose cases were dismissed simply so that officer teams could grab their clients in the hallways for fast-track deportations in order to pad their numbers. Boyd, who said he'd always envisioned a long career in public service, said, I had to make a moral decision. We still need good attorneys at ICE. There are drug traffickers and national security threats and human rights violators in our country who need to be dealt with. But we are now focusing on numbers over all else. Oh, what do you expect? What do you expect? Now, that said, yes, while there are some people who quit, because they were against what ICE has become, there are a lot of people there who are very thrilled about what they're doing. Oh, yes. They describe this as having free reign, and they're like, we love it. Yes, finally, we can go after all the insert whatever racial slur you want to put in there. We get to go after them now. Yes! In fact, according to the article, they chafed at the rules set under the Biden administration, which prioritized the deportation of serious offenders, but generally took a hands-off approach to those who hadn't committed crimes. Officers said that they used to worry about getting in trouble for making a mistake and wrongly arresting someone. Now the risk is not being aggressive enough because obviously they've wrongly arrested and deported quite a few people. Other ICE veterans who have long insisted that our agency was misunderstood and unfairly maligned by activists as a goon squad, which they are, have been disturbed by video clips of officers smashing suspects' car windows and appearing to round up people indiscriminately. Not appearing. That's exactly what they're doing. What we're seeing now is what for many years we were accused of being, and could always safely say, we don't do that, another former ICE official told Miroff. Well, they're doing it now. And thanks to Donald Trump's big old murder bill, they just became the nation's largest, most well-funded police force. Yeah. Once again, I have to say that the progressives, like myself, who called to abolish ICE, were entirely correct. But who's going to do the job that ICE does? Border Patrol could have done it. That's kind of their whole point, right? But you know what? The Democrats and Republicans kept feeding the money. Just kept shoving money towards ICE. And now here we are. Here we are with an extremely large, well-funded, and aggressive force that is kidnapping and disappearing people off the street, wearing masks and not, identifying themselves, no badges, nothing, stealing people off the street and sending them to Alligator Auschwitz. And you want me to feel bad for these people and their falling morale? Hell to the no. I don't think so. Not going to happen. Look, if you want to come close to even attempting to redeem yourself, then by all means, quit. But until then, I don't care. You deserve what you get. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.